The Last of Us. Does it deserve its high praise? Like the 9.3 IMDb rating it currently has right now? Or the 99% on Rotten Tomatoes? Like, does it literally deserve that high praise?
Or are we judging it too highly on the fact that it's an HBO programme who have delivered such outstanding efforts as Chernobyl and Game of Thrones? Is it because we've been waiting for 2 years for this programme to come out and we've all been hardly anticipating it?
Well,
is 2 years too long to justify that rating?
I mean, that's like the whole point. The whole reason why we're filming.
Yeah, but what about their last time they spent 2 years writing a show? I think Game of Thrones last season.
Oh, god damn, yeah. Jesus.
So, are we overhyping their writing and their story and their ability to get a compact programme out based on a video game? And do we judge it well based on it being possibly the first good adaptation of a video game?
I think that's one of the reasons.
I think so.
I think that's one of the reasons. I think because they've kind of stayed very close to the games, which let's be honest, they actually kind of have.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the main reasons.
I think it's the best series or film so far today that's been a video game adaptation. Cause,
I mean, it hasn't got much competition, bro.
Yeah,
look at Resident Evil, fam.
Or Halo. But they've taken a big game which has a huge following, and they've had to make sure that the casting's been like solid. It's done the characters justice. That the story's actually been followed, even though there's been a few things that have been changed up that we need to discuss. I'm coming out from the. I've not actually played the games yet.
No, same here.
I thought you had.
No, because I'm purely Xbox.
Oh yeah, well,
that's the.
We're both Xbox because it's PlayStation exclusive. We have to clarify we haven't actually played the games.
Yeah, we haven't.
We're just going off reviews and hearsay from.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen like walkthroughs and everything, so I can get the kind of like idea of it.
Yeah, I don't think it's that hard to follow.
And also what people say. Yeah, but anyway, I'm Sedge. This is Tristan.
I'm Tristan.
Oh yeah, I really should actually let you say the name, but alright. And we're going to explore The Last of Us, episodes 1, 2 and 3. And are they really, really deserving, the high praise? Episode 1. So we start off with the dude from like The Mummy, basically talking about, like the fungi and how dangerous it can be for, like mankind and everything. And yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts on the intro.
So yeah, the meat of it is... And this is something that this does well that other shows that are zombie-based don't really do, is they go straight off the bat and say, what is the actual cause of the zombie virus? Or in this case, what could potentially happen with a virus that spores into your brain and controls it. So they actually, scientifically, there's something called, there's like zombie ants or something, where a parasite gets into your brain, into the brain of the ant, and it actually takes it over, and causes like rage and... kind of like violent outbursts or whatever from the animal.
And then tries to get the spread going.
And that's what they get at. I think that's a very, very reasonable thing that could happen scientifically if zombies ever happened. Not that I'd like it to be the case. Cause,
no, it'd be sick, fam.
Yeah.
But like the thing is, like, I like the fact how the fungi, it's kind of like already kind of real. Obviously it doesn't affect humans and everything, but they've gone with like a real sort of thing, which again makes it 10 times more scary.
It does, yeah.
But let's actually talk about the actual intro. So...
yeah.
Alright, let's think of, I don't know, very popular films like Dark Knight. Like that intro right there. That captured you.
It does, yeah.
It does. Does this intro capture you?
It does, yes, because it's different. In a way that it's really getting to the heart of the matter of what causes the virus.
But do you not think it's just exposition based?
What do you mean?
Like, just saying, just giving us info.
Yeah, that's the whole point of them trying to set it up.
Yeah, I know, but does it not actually like grab you?
Yeah, it does grab us.
It does?
Oh yeah, it needs to, innit? It needs to, instead of just going straight into the characters, it needs to do something different to an audience that's not really played zombie games, or because they're trying to draw in more people in it.
Okay.
A lot of people haven't played these zombie games. They need a cause and effect as to why there's an outbreak.
I get that.
What the episode 1 does very well is shows it happening all over America via like news flashes and whatnot. It's kind of we're more shown than told, which is the mistake that previous shows tend to make.
Do you know what? That is one of the main problems I have with this show. It does.
Oh, in terms of the writing?
In terms of the writing, man. But we'll get into that later. But that's like basically one of the main quarrels I have with this show.
Right, what do you feel about the show after the first 3 episodes? What's your take of it?
I mean, like, does it deserve all the hype it's getting? No.
Really?
Far from it, in my opinion.
Ooh, I differ. See, I'm looking forward every week to watching this. This is the thing at the minute that's
I get that.
high level, man. I think it's delivering. I think it's delivering the goods.
I think it is and it isn't. It's kind of like in like the middle zone for me.
The episode 1 starts off with Sarah's death and Sarah's establishment as a main character for the first, say, 20 minutes of the show. Joel's not really in it with Tommy.
Yeah, I mean...
Even though Joel's your main character in the game.
Yeah, but I'm actually kind of okay with it.
Okay, you think Sarah's a good addition?
Yeah, the thing is, the one thing I know about the games is that it just kind of gets straight into it.
Yeah.
And then obviously we all know that Sarah dies and everything.
Yeah, but that scene's in the game. The opening scene. I'm not sure if her going to school in that was in the games. But...
It isn't, no.
So you think they've added in bits unnecessarily?
Yeah, but I think it is necessary.
Yeah, because you've got to make
because you have to feel something for her.
Well, yeah,
especially with death.
You can't just like because gameplay is different from a series. From gameplay, you're actually playing from her perspective. You're experiencing everything she's feeling. You're seeing the outbreak from her perspective. If you don't put that in, you don't really get the main part of the first half an hour, and that's what's going to draw in new viewers.
And also, it kind of establishes her as a character, e.g., like fixing up his watch. That's just a nice thing.
Yeah, she's a heartful character that you're supposed to root for, so her death is meant to be that much more impactful.
And it did. I think...
And that's where the story does it well.
Yeah. And I think focusing on her, like, a lot more, so you kind of, like, develop the character a bit more, understand, like, it... You know, you just feel a lot more.
So you changed, like, your thoughts already?
No. I mean, like... I can praise it for what it does well, but I'm also gonna like not praise it for stuff it doesn't.
So you think certain characters it does well, certain other characters and relationships it doesn't? Okay, that's probably a fair assessment.
But I'm up until like the death, and let's face it, the death was actually very, very well done. Very well done.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. I mean, like I don't blame you, man.
I don't cry. I'm waiting to see what Tommy's role in the series is.
Yeah,
I know he's big. I know he's meant to be a major part in like the back end of the series, but in the first half, his name's mentioned a lot, and you only really see him in the first episode.
Tons.
You only see him for about 30 minutes in the first episode when he gets separated when they're trying to get through the city.
Actually, that's like the main reason for Joel's journey.
You want to establish Joel's relationship with Tommy straight off the bat, right? As brothers, obviously blood brothers, and they're the only two still alive after 20 years. What other reason has Joel got to live for in the apocalypse? Especially when he's in the survivor zone, the quarantine zone, right? Which is heavily patrolled by these guys called Fedra, which is like a military base and whatnot. His brother's off in another base in, I think, Wyoming.
Wyoming, yeah.
Yeah, and...
so he's got to travel far, fam.
Yeah, and you basically do a flashback 20 years after Sarah's death, right? Which is...
I mean, flash forward.
Flash forward, yeah. Oh, what am I like?
The one thing I kind of like, well, it's kind of like a weird one, but, they show Sarah's death. And then straight away, they show another kid, like, dying.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I think that's really good. Because you want to set up the universe, but establish it outside of the main characters.
And then this was established, like, straight off the bat. This is a harsh world.
That's why episode 1 sets up really well. After Sarah's death, especially when they're going through the city, in the car, trying to basically get out of Texas and, get anywhere safe.
Speaking about that real quick. The actual shot of them in the car driving off, do you think that's a sick shot?
Ooh, after her death?
No. So
when they get out the house.
Yeah, because there's a shot where it's like in like the camera looks like it's in like the back of the car, and it's like feels like very like submersive. Like it actually kind of feels like you are in like a video game.
Well, that's one of many good examples of cinematography in this.
I mean, the cinematography is
that's something that you can't really argue
with.
In this. HBO always bring their A game with the shots.
It's brilliant.
I know a lot of it was filmed in Canada as well. I think they had to clear out an entire city to actually film it.
Really?
Yeah, seriously.
That is mad.
If you actually look up how some of it was filmed, it's crazy. But
okay, so the whole section with the QZ and then Joel kind of living in it.
See, I really like this. I've got a few drawbacks, but I think
positives.
Right. So what you do is with a character like that, you spend 20 years scavenging and like he's a what do you call it?
A smuggler.
That's it. He's a smuggler, and he's basically got contacts from other zones and whatnot. And he goes out, finds bits, and trades them off with for security guards for like extra rations and things like that. I think I did that well because you've obviously got to set him up as a man that's actually survived harsh conditions. He's had to do things that no man ever had to in his lifetime, and he's like in his 50s, right? He's lost his daughter 20 years ago. He's like heart and soul. There's gonna be like no emotion in this guy, right? He's a guy that's got to like do anything by any means.
No, true, yeah.
And if you set him up any other way, the show fails. You have to establish a character like that straight away. It's like any means necessary guy.
Yeah. The main thing I took from that whole section was literally just complete setup. Just everything was like like exposition kind of
But
thing.
that has to be for a
I know,
strong first
I get
episode.
it.
You
I
can't
get
have
it.
much
It's
plot.
everything. It's just everything is just kind of like their prime and proper.
But it's
like,
different from filler.
This is the world. Yeah, no, it isn't. It isn't filler. It's just.
This is a necessary setup that has to happen
Yeah.
to get established any kind of.
It's just like this is
relationship
this,
characters.
this is that, this is Joel, this is Tess, this
Yeah.
is that, and I get that. You know, like this is Ellie. But speaking about Ellie, what do you think of her just in the first episode? So
I didn't see her whole Firefly story. I feel like it's been done to death.
How
That
so?
kind of like military resistance group that
Oh yeah, massively.
doesn't-
massively. That's in like every zombie film.
yeah, it's just like a cliche at this point, and I don't think the show did a good enough job of like.
Day of the Dead did it better.
Yeah, I think so. Well, that's a great film to be fair.
That's an amazing film.
It actually come up on Netflix today, to be fair. And I was like,
What, the original?
no, there's a Snyder one. What was that?
Oh mate, I'm talking about Day of the Dead.
That third one, I know.
About the military base.
Yeah, see that did it better, but
Yeah.
I think the whole idea of the Fireflies or whatever is stupid now. I think it's been done to death, and
Yeah, everything's like terrorist groups nowadays. It's sort of like,
yeah, it's like extreme, and their motives aren't really set up clear as well.
But
They're
they
supposed
are
to
in
be
the
the
game.
guys,
They are in the game though. That's like the main thing.
but they're the guys that you're meant to be kind of rooting
Rooting
for,
for.
right? You always root for an underdog in this story, and they're set up clearly as the underdog against this kind of oppressing Fedra monarchy.
Yeah, I mean like
And Joel's the sort of middleman who's not really on either side. So having the Fireflies there
he just
doesn't,
cares about.
yeah, it doesn't make a lot of
himself.
sense.
Yeah, I mean like you're not like really seeing it from the Firefly type of side. You're always seeing
You
things
sort
through
of
Joel.
do, but I didn't think.
So you don't actually feel anything for like the Fireflies.
Yeah.
Whereas let's think Rebellion, Star Wars, and stuff. You're
Yeah, you
always
feel
seeing
for
that
it.
through the Rebellion side.
Yeah.
You know, it's like night and day. Like Rebellion is good, Empire's bad.
Yeah.
This is just you're in the middle, and then it's just Fedra. I mean, they look bad because they're executing people, leaving QZ.
See, I thought
But
Ellie was set up okay. I think things could have been done better to really get her as a character and to give you any kind of emotional connection to her. That's one of the drawbacks I've got with the episode. I think writing,
Yeah.
I don't think they do anything really well with setting up Ellie and Joel's relationship in episode 1.
Oh no, there is none. There is none.
There's-
Because I mean, they literally just meet.
You're
towards
setting
the
up
end.
Joel and Tess, right? You
Yeah.
don't really get much of a feel for them two, I guess, as people, like in the second half of the episode. And you're supposed to really root for Tess
Yeah, I
and
mean,
be kind of on her side, but she doesn't really give a convincing portrayal.
nah, she's just kind of there, isn't she?
Yeah, it's like
She's just kind of there. She like,
she's a hardened woman, I get it, but
yeah,
I didn't really feel that the show did a good enough job of like what life's actually like for those two in their thing.
No, I mean like my main problem with episode 1, yeah,
Hmm.
and especially with Joel's character, is that the script likes to say, not show. That is
That's-
like the main problem I have with it.
Yeah.
So the whole time, yeah, we are told Joel's a badass. Oh yeah, Joel is a badass. Joel, did you know? He's a badass. We don't
You
see
don't
it.
see him doing a lot.
We don't see him at all being a badass.
You see him kind of following orders. He's quite meek with
Yeah.
the Fireflies.
That's it.
They tell him, you've got to take Ellie. Anyone could just turn around and go, no, I'm not going to do that. But
Yeah.
he takes her anyway.
You know, like I don't see. Alright, let's take like Rick from like season 5 from The Walking Dead. You know, where he's like, or the end of season 4 when he's like ripping people's throats out and shit.
Yeah,
and,
that's
like,
the leader.
Taking that, yeah. That's badass. But with Joel, I do not see it. It hasn't shown me once of him being a badass. The only time you kind of see it is when he just knocks that freaking soldier out. And
That
then
was a
just,
good scene.
bangs
No,
it.
no, that was a great
Yeah,
scene
yeah.
to end it on.
It's good. So you kind of see it
He
like a
just
little
mashes
bit.
his face into
But
an
you're just-
unnecessary proportion.
Yeah, but you're just told it. You're just told he's a badass. He's a badass. And then that's it. Like, how, like, I'm just much more of a fan of show it rather than tell it. Always show it, man. Always show. Never
And then the
tell.
episode ends with them escaping the quarantine
Escaping.
zone, really. After mashing a guy's face in.
Yeah, true. Okay, but thoughts. So I want to do like a rating after every episode.
First episode, I think, was a good 8.
You know what? I'll actually give it a 9. I'll give it a 9.
So you just switched your thoughts around.
No. I think it does like a lot of good stuff.
It's good. It's good that we can
But,
have these
you know,
debates and
it has like literally me just doing all this stuff is literally just nitpicking. I'm literally nitpicking.
Still
It
a
is
very good
very
first
good.
episode.
It does it well.
I don't think
and-
it's as good as like Game of Thrones' first ever episode in terms of getting you involved with the characters.
Yeah, man. Game of Thrones
But,
first episode. was sick.
that
Or Walking
killed.
Dead's first episode, man.
Oh man, yeah,
That was banging. Yeah, I don't think it's as strong as them, but
no, but I think they're finding their
I think-
feet in terms
yeah.
of the.
I think I'd give it a 9. I'll give it its props.
I'll give it. I think nine's a bit high. I think
Sarah's definitely did it. Like Sarah's
that's
death
the
was
emotional
well done.
impact you need to get viewers in.
I just think they did a lot of stuff well, and I
Yes.
think they deserve a lot of praise for that. Okay, like there was, the show don't tell, there was some other stuff, but that is literally just me being nitpicking.
9 though.
No, I do think.
So based on episode 1, the takeaway is that the show does deserve its high rating, and we do generally agree with the consensus.
Yeah. Episode 2 of The Last of Us. So.
Does it carry on from the high ratings that we gave episode 1?
You know what? Just a spoiler alert. This is actually my favourite episode.
Really?
Yeah, man. Yeah. This is honestly my favourite episode.
You having a laugh? It's like half an hour less than all the other ones.
No, man. It's my favourite one.
Okay, well, okay.
It generally
interested
is.
to hear your thoughts on
I think
this
it's
then.
amazing.
What's so strong about it?
Right, so first of all we have to get into the start of it. So we start off with, it looks like an abandoned building of sort, and then Ellie's sleeping, and there's Tess and Joel.
Yeah.
I just wanna say about this shot, yeah?
Right.
The blocking and the lighting of the shot, it has like Ellie in like the main light, it has Tess in the middle, where she's kind of like half in darkness and half in the light, and Joel completely in like the darkness.
Oh, well, that's meant to represent their
Mate,
character.
that is symbolic as fuck, man.
But that's something that only a cinema person
I
is
know,
going to really...
no, like me as a videographer.
Right, yeah,
I can
that's
just
something you're going to
appreciate it.
appreciate. The average person is
Yeah, I know.
not really
but
going to notice the symbolism behind that shot.
I saw that shot and I was like, bruv, like,
You had a bit of
impressive.
an attack downstairs.
Oh, mate, I nearly jizzed my pants, fam. Like, it was sick, man.
I thought it was good.
Like, that shot,
I do agree with you about the cinematography.
Mate,
for the second
it's-
episode.
it's beautiful.
It's the first time they're in the kind of dead space
man.
wasteland. And
I
it's,
loved it.
I've got to be fair. I love how they show all the abandoned buildings
Yeah,
with all
man.
the vines and
And also the
grassland
buildings
on
like
them.
crashing into.
Yeah, all the
nature,
buildings are all cracked.
yeah, nature taking over as
Yeah,
well.
that's brilliant.
You know, like,
Because remember, it is set 20 years after the
Yeah,
the
man.
outbreak. No one's been maintaining this stuff, and they've
I
kept
know.
it true to how the game was as well.
like normally with like apocalypse movies, you always see kind of like, like the first couple of days. It's always like the first like outbreak.
You've never had one that's flash forward 20 years
Yeah,
into it.
apart from Walking Dead, but that's
Yeah.
like a completely different. I just love it purely because, you actually get to see the world outside. So you've been stuck in this quarantine zone in like
Yeah.
the first episode. Now you're on the other side with the danger. Like, I always felt like a bit on edge. Each time I went into a different building,
Yeah.
each route they took, there was always like
There's
that
good use
danger
of the
element.
music as well, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
It
Or-
really cranks it around
Yeah.
up when they're like peering around the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
The scene that I really liked was when they're walking across that log, the wooden plank between buildings.
Oh, what? That's
'Cause
like after the museum.
Yeah, because it's clever, right? Because it shows that humans have actually taken care to. This is how they travel between buildings. As in, they don't use the
man.
floor much anymore.
Exactly. And that's just like the little things that make
Yeah.
this episode just a lot better for me. To actually just like little touches here and there, you just think, that's kind of cool. Like, I like
But
that.
also as well, it's the first time the writers have been able to kind of tackle the good parts of what a zombie apocalypse is, right? And that's the whole world becoming a wasteland rather than
Yeah,
the human
man.
element of it.
The thing is, like, I don't
If
think
you're a writer, that's the parts you
Yeah.
wanna.
the thing is with like the Walking Dead and stuff, because they are like 20 years into it.
Yeah.
You always just kind of see them like in like forests and stuff like that.
Never
you never
see-
actually see like the main building, apart from like
The Atlanta episode.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
But that's like it.
Yeah.
Like this, you actually get like a full view. You see.
Of what a major city
Yeah,
looks
like a
like
major city.
unmaintained 20 years later on.
Yeah, man. Like I really liked it. I really liked the setting. Like I think like it really pushes Joel's character because obviously you
Yeah.
know of what happens at the end, all like the roads and stuff, and then they it's kind of like the first sort of 20 minutes is just them sort of like navigating through the city.
Yeah.
So you just kind of like take in the environment, you take in the setting. You kind of like listening to the conversations because there's Ellie trying to break through like Joel's shell, and obviously
Yeah.
she's like failing, and Joel's just like stop talking. Like I kind of like that, because you can't.
It's
you
the
kind of
setup
see,
to the main
Yeah.
main part that's meant to draw you in, yeah.
and also the fact that you kind of get an idea of Joel's survival instincts in this one because like they're like, do you want to take like the quick route or the safer long route? And he's just like safer long route, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like because he knows like this is no bullshit. This is not a world to be taking chances.
Yeah.
This is a world where we play it safe. Again, I like that. There's just a lot of stuff to love in this episode.
I think it does Ellie justice as well. It really
It does,
breaks her out of her shell for this episode. It allows her to interact with herself and Joel rather than just being kept in locked up by other
man.
characters.
That's it. Because normally it'll just be like follow orders. That's it, done.
Yeah.
I feel like she has a bit more to offer in
And
this
it
episode.
explains well why she's being transported over as well, because obviously
Yeah.
she's immune to the virus on her arm just there.
That's it.
Or was it episode 1? Or was it episode 2?
No, like they kind of go. She kind of goes a bit more depth in it in like the second one, because remember she goes like she told me not to tell anyone, and now I'm telling the first couple of people I see. You know, like you kind of see like a bit of like lightheartedness of Ellie, where she's trying to play in like the hotel,
Yeah.
and it's submerged in like water.
The only difference is, from what I've read of the game, is that Ellie starts off in the game very much more naive and relying on protection, and in the series I thought she's a bit too confident for somebody who's supposedly not been outside this quarantine zone.
I get that, but then when shit does hit the fan, like in the museum,
She's a young girl. She doesn't have much
Yeah.
experience with handling guns or being out in the city, having to like fend for yourself and really live off your wits.
yeah, true. But I mean, like you can kind of see like the naive side to her at like the start, like when she's playing in the hotel.
That's kind of what brings the episode down for me a little bit.
Oh, really?
But just like purely in terms of the characters, I feel like Eddie's not written that well, and I don't think the actress puts in a great performance.
You have to explain a bit more now. Now that you said that, you have to explain.
Right, so the grips I've got with this episode is, I think the length, 45 minutes. I don't know why they keep changing between an hour and a half and 45 minutes between each episode.
Strange. That is strange, isn't it?
I think they didn't really give enough time to introduce Eddie and Joel as like a relationship that well.
Yeah, but it's just the start, man. It's just the start, man. Like, obviously, there's like a lot more to come from them. Like, the thing is that the whole episode, Joel was basically like blocking her off the whole time. Like, she was trying to get through. I mean, there's even that bit where they're stuck in the rubble, and then she's trying to talk to him, and he's like, next question. You know, like, he obviously doesn't want to give too much away.
Yeah, he doesn't want to tell about
Yeah,
things
you know,
he's suffered.
He still sees her as cargo.
Yeah, which is
Like,
what she is.
Yeah, and like the thing
He's
is,
essentially
like,
been forced to carry her,
yeah,
through this wasteland, and they've lost their truck. They're going on foot. But let's get to the real
is Tess's death.
This is
what was?
this is
what
where
do you
this
think about
episode lacks for me, because it's
Controversial.
supposed to be Joel's partner dies and he's meant to feel so much for her. I just feel like she sacrifices herself, and Joel's just like runs straight away with Eddie. She goes, save yourself, and he doesn't go, no, I'll take your place. He just grabs Eddie and runs off.
Yeah, but why would he? I mean, she's like bit.
But
Joel.
well, it's Eddie that finds that she's bit anyway.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, like, you've got to think.
He
Does
didn't do
it push his
organically.
character? Does
Not
that death
really
push
for
his
me.
character?
I don't think it pushed Tess's character. I know she sacrifices herself, but I don't think her sacrifice was really the
Needed.
emotional gut punch that it was
mean-
meant to come off as.
I mean, it's not as good as Sarah's,
No,
but
I don't think Tess really shone in her screen time. I don't think they made the most of her character. No,
so episode 2 ranks. So
I've got to
finish
go
off.
lower. I've got to give it a 6.
Really?
I don't think it made any real strides in progressing the story.
Oh my
I watched
God.
it and I was just like, okay, it happened, and that's one of the problems I got with the show.
Really?
Some episodes are just like, it happened.
Right, you're going to be shocked with my rating then, man. I actually give it about a 9.5
How are you giving it a 9.5?
because I think it's the best.
That's
episode.
reserved for like top tier.
No, I do think it's top tier. I think it does everything right.
So you think it justifies the high rank in episode 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the
you did
first
everything in
two.
45 minutes. It got out everything it could.
Yeah,
and
man.
It did it to such a high level that okay.
Yeah, man. I definitely agree. I think
Strange.
I love the whole setting. I love the environment. I love all the interactions between the main characters. I think Tess's death was, you know, it was not like as emotional as Sarah's, but I think it definitely pushes Joel's character like in a way.
I don't think it did. I don't think it
I-
pushed the main protagonist as much. I didn't feel
yeah,
like I was rooting for him any more than
True.
even before she died.
But you can kind of see his like survival instincts because like he knows that
he's got sole care of Eddie now.
yeah, that's it.
And this is where the story really starts to kick in.
Yeah.
But then you go from that to episode 3, and they're not in it, and that's one of the problems I've got because they only show up right at the end.
Yeah,
But
true. But
Episode 3, because I think episode 2 was a nothing episode, and I've got to say that. I think it happened, and then episode 3 is where like the real stuff happens.
yeah. All right.
Because you get told about Bill, right, in episode 2. Oh, you go find Bill and stuff, right? And obviously Joel's got to drive out and find him and whatnot. But episode 3 is like, it's what's classed as a filler episode, but like it's high quality filler.
No, it's not. It's awful.
Really? Based on...
Mate, episode 3 is where it all went wrong for me. The first 2 episodes
Okay,
are
go on.
banging. Episode 3 is awful.
So you liked the establishing Joel and Eddie,
Yeah.
and you think establishing Bill and Frank just didn't.
Yeah, no, it was awful, man.
Oh, I really disagree.
I have to say it as it is.
See, I've
It's a bad
seen
episode.
filler. I've seen a lot of filler, and I've never seen something that's been written
Bro.
so like beautifully and
I've
constructive.
watched all of The Walking Dead. I know all about filler episodes, bruv.
Yeah, half of that was filler.
It's
Let's be
filler,
fair.
fam. But this, I just cannot get behind.
It's a different take, and I really admire the kind of writing direction they went into this time.
Yeah.
2 characters that aren't massively in the game, and they've taken bits of the game and kind of rewritten them, but in a way that I think was classy, and it did them justice. And it only doesn't really add a lot to the episode, because the real takeaway is that Joel and Eddie find this dead guy and take all his supplies and leave, and they carry on with the main story. But I spent like an hour really watching this beautiful relationship unfold of these 2 guys meeting from very different.
It's very.
How they've handled the apocalypse differently in the first
Yeah.
straight after it happens. So it flashes back to 2003, doesn't it? Right.
Yeah. It flashes back to like the start,
Yeah.
and then.
And you got this
basically-
Bill guy who's like a conspiracy nutjob guy or whatnot, and he's
I like that, man. Where
Yeah.
he's just doing his own thing.
it's Nick Offerman.
I
He
did
brings
really
it.
like that bit.
He brings it.
Where you just kind of just get like in the first 5 minutes, this guy, you know pretty much all about him in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Survivalist nut, he loves his own self, like he loves being on his own. He
He's set
loves
up
all
traps.
this.
He's got this whole town that
I think the traps could have been cooler though, because apparently in like the game, like he has like cars like falling on people and stuff.
yeah, but you maybe there were some legal
Yeah.
issues with
Maybe.
cars falling on people,
Maybe.
but who knows? But
Who knows?
But it was good. I thought it was really good. You get this Frank guy comes in and he's just like, you don't know anything about him, and then they kind of unravel him very slowly as a guy that can be trusted. And then what I think they did well with Frank for me was the standout of the episode. I think his character, every scene he was in, he just gets more mature and wiser, and he can deal with the harshness of the apocalypse, but also maintains his level of humanity that I've not seen in previous shows.
I get that.
He still wants to do up the town and to like
Make
live a
it-
normal life and
make
have
it
a life
his.
that's not just survival, but actually like
No, like
he wants to paint his lawn for crying out loud and paint,
Yeah,
do like some of the shops. I think that's a
Like-
nice touch. That's the things that you've got a lot of downtime out there, and he wants to actually like
I get that.
keep life as normal as possible.
I do get that. Like, don't get me wrong. I think it's like as like a standalone episode or something. It is actually quite like
But you
it's-
think the quality in drop of the first 2 was just so
yeah.
bad.
My
You
main
think it was
gripe.
unnecessary.
Yeah, my main gripe is that each episode has to push the main plot along.
Yeah.
It has to. That is
Yeah, that's
that is
yeah.
the reasons for episodes. It's got to somehow push the main characters, push the plot along. This one, I felt I could have just completely like missed the episode completely.
You could have watched the last
and then
5
watched
minutes.
and no, even just start watching from episode 4, and then still know everything and what's going on.
No, there's a lot of details in the plot which I think go amiss. I think
it's-
it's one that you can watch
it's a
twice and you
passion
can pick
project,
up.
man.
I think you can watch it twice and there's more things that you'll miss.
It's a
that are
passion
subtle.
project.
No, it's just
a passion
beautifully written
project
episode.
in a HBO
No, it's
series.
a beautifully written episode.
Don't
To me,
get me
it's-
wrong. As like a standalone, it might work, but this is not a standalone. This
But-
is Joel and Ellie's story.
Mm,
Like I get why people like it. I really do understand. Like it is a beautifully told story. I'm not gonna sit here and say it isn't. It definitely
because
is. It is, man. And like you do kind of feel,
I think
But-
your problem is your expectations are here and they
Yeah.
drop very quickly. But
mate. Yeah,
mine
maybe,
are the
maybe,
opposite.
yeah,
Mine are the
that's-
opposite. Mine's going from episode 2 where I was like not
bit
not
iffy.
quite as high, and it goes on to something that shows the
Shows more
the
humanity.
zombie
in it.
apocalypse from very many other characters' perspectives. And you get a beautifully told story from 2 people and their whole timeline of 20 years, with only the key scenes really. And I think all the scenes really make sense because it shows how Bill's level of protection for his loved one, and he's willing to sacrifice literally everything
His whole life.
just for
really.
this. Yeah, just for this guy that is the love of his life.
My main gripe with it is that like I took nothing away from it. That's just it. There's
Then I
nothing
think
to take
you've seen
away.
the message wrong.
I don't think I have, man.
No, I disagree.
Like-
Just because an episode should make you feel something, right?
Yeah.
That's the only reason people watch TV, right?
Yeah.
To feel something or escape.
Escape,
Yeah,
man.
I think this one did it. I came out of the episode thinking, "Wow, that was a really good episode that I can talk to people about." And this, I've got very many good things to say about it. Whereas compared to episode 2, which didn't do that for me. I feel like I could watch it and then just like be like, yeah, I watched it, it was okay. This one I thought, well, there's a lot to actually kind of get into, and a lot of people I know really are high on it.
No, like I see like a lot of people either loving it or hating it. There is no in between. There is no in between.
No, a lot of people are very high on it.
I don't think it deserves to be hated, but I just don't think it's nearly as good as what the show is, started off.
But you've got the scene at the end. He writes a letter to Joel and says how we are similar because we both protect our loved ones, and it's got the very end scene.
You don't see that, man. Like you do not see any.
That's the whole point, because they're dead at that point. Joel's coming in after.
Yeah, but you don't see the relationship between Joel and Bill.
You do, because they
had like one brunch together, fam.
That's the whole point.
I've had bare brunches with loads of people and never talked to them again, fam.
Or call them back.
Yeah, or call them back. Yeah, that's the whole point, man. Like, doesn't mean that I've got an established relationship.
That brunch is meant to establish Tess's relationship with Frank more than Bill and Joel.
What's the point? They all die at the end.
Because Tess and Frank are the ones that connect Bill and Joel. And they're the ones that actually bring forward them two for the story to progress. And that's why that scene's so powerful.
Yeah, man, it just doesn't do anything for me.
Okay, so where do you rate the episode out of 10?
Well, I kind of...
Is it a middle of the road one? Is this the one that lets you
3.
down? And this is why you want to make this episode?
Yeah.
A 3 out of 10?
A 3 out of 10, man. For me, I think it could have been 10 times better. That whole story could have been shortened down to at least half an hour.
This one's a 9 for me.
Really?
Yeah, I'm very high on this one. And this is one that I think the show will be remembered for.
Hear me out, yeah? Wouldn't it have been better if, number one, it was shortened down by like half an hour?
No, because you wouldn't be able to tell the story so effectively.
Bruv, Up did a better love story in like 5 minutes, fam.
But this is like a homage to those kind of shows. It can't just be pure... I know the criticism is there's going to be no zombies and whatnot, which is fair enough.
Where the fuck's the zombies, fam?
They're not really being in the series, which is kind of what drags it down for
that really drags it down, yeah.
But
dude, I just think the show, like, the episode would have been a lot better if it was massively shortened, that whole section. And not only that, I think it'd be better if Bill actually, he kills Frank but doesn't kill himself. And then he has to deal with the consequences and choices of his actions.
Yeah, but that's being done to death.
Bro, I just think that'd be a lot better, because also you spent all these time with these two characters.
Exactly.
To just kill them off.
I'll give it a 9. I'm very high on the episode.
You just kill them off, and then I just get nothing from it. I do get the whole like letter thing, but again, it didn't establish Bill's and Joel's relationship enough for it to be that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm very high on the episode. I think we'll go with that.
This was The Last of Us. How we feel about episodes 1, 2, and 3. And overall, just one last thing. Does it deserve that 9.3?
Yes. Not the 9.3. If it was something like an 8.5, I'd go yes. Okay. There's 2 very good episodes and 1 that's middling.
For me, it's the first 2 are banging, and then the third one is just really let down.
Okay.
If you like the content, please like and subscribe. I'm Sedge. This is Tristan. And yeah, there'll be plenty more content. This is actually the first video of our brand new channel, where we will literally be discussing movies, TV shows, video games, all the new stuff coming out. Pornography, yeah, pretty much. Everything, really.
Yeah.
Everything that we want to review, talk about. And this is the first of many. So again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and then just stay tuned, because we're probably going to be doing 2 videos a week.
2 a week? Wow, that's a lot of content.
I know, man.
Oh, that's a lot of reviewing we have to be doing, isn't it?
I know, man. Well. That's a lot of editing on my part. But anyway, stay tuned, man. And we'll see you on the next video.
Peace.